the well-mannered Team UR circle jerk in the chat there.
Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be a ZVP. So different matchup than the last series, obviously. Hopefully, it can be as intense and action-packed as that last series. Because although that last game dragged on a little bit, it was an intense and action-packed series with lots of aggression. So we'll see if this one can match up to that standard. um, so, I guess I'll start off
Absolutely.
with introducing Polar from Team UR. In the blue, the Protoss player. In the 7 o'clock position, Polar.
Such camera, much wow.
Yeah, Polar
In
little heart.
and in the top right position, our red Zerg player. It is gonna be Vaccinate. So
Yeah, so
you know, I like ZVP.
yeah, it's I feel like it can be a great matchup. When you have like those two base all-ins of the Protoss versus Zerg trying desperately to hold on. Lately, there've been a lot of proxy hatches, things of that sort. That'd be really cool if we could see one like gold base taking out of the Zerg players. So yeah, it definitely can be a good matchup. So yeah, we're gonna see what they do here.
The probe getting a little aggressive
A little light
here.
harass. We
Yeah.
see Vaccinate is going for 15 pool, so pool 4 hatch. Just playing super safe. Polar, not a player known to cheese, do any sort of. I wouldn't expect any sort of like cannons out of him for sure. No like proxy 2 gates.
Well, you
But
have to question. You have to
yeah,
question if he
yeah,
wants to win this. He might play unconventionally.
yeah,
And
exactly.
Vaccinate also, like we've said, he's relatively newer, so he might not be familiar that Polar is generally a well-mannered bloke. Ugh, does get pulled off, and the hatch does go down.
Yeah. Um.
So it looks like
So yeah,
Forge.
it's looking like
Forge
yeah,
fast expand.
Forge. A little bit of a safe play out of Polar, so he's just going Forge. Yeah, so Vaccinate, just a reminder to Vaccinate, if I do believe correctly, he's like a chem major or something.
No, he's in med school.
Okay, so yeah, he's obviously
I think it's either
medicines.
him or Apophis, but one of them are in med school, and I think it's Vaccinate.
Yeah, I think so too. So his name is near and dear to his heart.
Near and dear to his heart.
Gonna
So,
just really standard Forge
yeah.
expand.
Incredibly standard.
Nothing too sketchy out of Polar.
No, I think Polar feels confident in his macro, confident in his decision making, and he's gonna be completely fine with taking this.
So long as just chasing this probe away.
Yep.
So
This
a little annoying.
probe's gonna make it, I think.
Yeah, it looks like the probe's gonna make it, but this is a little annoying.
The
Not gonna be
mineral
able to hide
walk is gonna be real.
proxy pylons. Yeah,
Oh,
let's see.
hype.
Yeah,
Oh, hype! I think it's gonna make it.
yeah.
Oh, mineral walk. Oh, let's the ling in. Unexpected. Doesn't
Not too
matter.
bad.
Doesn't matter. But he does get some value out of those lings. Almost got a pro, but he does see the Forge fast expand and does feel comfortable with this third right now.
So this probe gonna go out, gonna scout if that third is there. Gonna see that it is in fact there. So for Vaccinate, knowing this is a Forge fast expand, that's gonna delay all of Polar's timings, 1.5, 2 minutes, from what it could be if it was a gateway expand. But obviously, he is gonna have that faster 1-1 or faster upgrades and the faster Nexus, plus obviously a little safer with the cannon, and going for the Stargate. Polar, if he's known for one thing, is definitely the Stargate Protoss. He loves his Phoenixes. He's told me many times that Phoenixes he thinks are the sexiest unit in StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
So fully expect some Phoenix shenanigans out of Polar.
Polar actually, I've talked to Polar a couple times, and he has told me that he said Cobalt, I literally do the same thing every game. And I still don't lose with it because nobody's willing to adjust. But I do the same thing literally every game. And in PvZ, that happens to be a Phoenix harass for the most part. And Vaccinate, maybe not as familiar with Polar's reputation for Phoenixes, so he might not be prepared. Might lose some of these OVs out on the map, and that's going to be potentially crippling. And we do see the Phoenixes being chronoed, so this is going to be some Phoenix harass out of Polar, playing this pretty well patented style of his in PvZ. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. I like this style. It's aggressive from the Protoss. It keeps the game flowing, keeps things moving. I think it's great that he's going for it, especially in a casted series.
So Vaccinate actually being able to scout the Stargate and the Phoenix precinct, so he
Yeah.
knows exactly what's going on.
He does. He saw it being
Hopefully going to begin to
chronoed.
pull down those overlords, pull back those overlords.
Yeah, Ovi's not moving right
Yeah,
now.
not reacting just yet. Does have a little more time. So the keys for Polar, oh, there we go. There's the spores. Yeah, the overload's moving now. So the keys for Polar, just going to try and pick off everything they can without risking those Phoenixes. Definitely don't want to lose them this early. Picking off overlords, definitely queens. Huge.
I don't know.
Huge
I don't
help.
know what's up with Polar just letting this Overlord
Yeah, overlord's just
scout
kind
the
of chilling.
Robo and everything else happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sees everything building with this Overlord, and literally, this is what Polar's build is designed to stop. But he's just giving away vision. But we do see the Phoenixes start to move out and start to
Yeah.
harass.
I do feel that it's not too big a problem because Polar is just going for like such a textbook response, not doing any sort of like DT or anything like that. He's just going, opening Phoenixes, adding some gateways, adding the Robo Bay, adding the robotics facility, tech, and he's just going to go right into Colossus, get his third up, use the Phoenixes, do some harassment, and then just do. I mean, you can kind of see just this game playing out just from like Polar's opening. He's going to try and get that third, then do 160, 150 supply attack with that +2, maybe +3 upgrades. Colossus, Zealot, Stalker, Sentry Force with the Phoenixes as backup.
Yeah,
So basically, Polar's revealed his hand, so to speak, and it's going to be on Vaccinate to try and
absolutely.
counter that. And picking off a queen, so that's exactly what Polar wants.
Exactly.
Just look how much that slows down the production. He has to start
Exactly.
another queen. He doesn't have the
Injects
injects.
behind, yep. He's
It's
forcing
so annoying
out.
with the Zerg
Yeah,
player.
and he's just gaming. At this point, he's just gaming the Zerg player here. He's like
Yeah.
he's forcing out the Hydras, and
he
if
forced
I
down
know,
6 spores.
yeah, and if I know him, he's gonna use this. Yeah, he's already got the infrastructure in place to
Yep.
get Colossus on the field to answer this.
Mm.
Yeah, this is a textbook. This is Polar's textbook PvZ,
Yeah.
and I think maybe that we were nice people to maybe not necessarily tell Vaccinate this is exactly what Polar's going to do, but maybe in hindsight we should have clued him in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Polar's really like reinventing anything here. This is like you said. This is like totally textbook
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, and it was scouted, and
Yeah.
he has to know that overcommitting to this Hydra tech is going to be punished. And we do see Thermal Lance, we do see Colossus, Polar
Plus
securing the third. So obviously, when you're on 3 bases Zerg against 3 bases Protoss, you need to be sweating bullets. Sweating bullets.
And unfortunately, so Vaccinate's is moving out here
Yeah,
with these Hydras, but he doesn't have the speed upgrade, so it's just going to be so hard to micro those against what's going to be 2 Colossus as soon as this second one pops.
Colossus
and
are
Thermal
not in
Lance.
position, and there they go. They're moving into
Yeah.
position. They're going to be here right in time. Yeah,
Photon Overcharge is going to go down.
exactly.
Not really going to be able to get too much damage on. Picking off the Phoenixes. Dude, 2 Phoenixes right away. Really good pick off
That's
from
good.
Vaccinate.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
exceptionally good pickoff.
Would like to see him kind of back up from that and maybe take one more
Yeah,
bases.
he could time out this. He could time out this overcharge, and take a base.
Actually, he's doing a lot of damage. He looks like he's going to be able to pick up this third, but at the cost of what might be... Oh, the Colossus is actually focusing on these Lings in the back instead of these Hydras. Definitely
Yeah.
not what Polar wants. So Vaccinate...
retreat is
good
called,
force
though.
fields. Yeah. Vaccinate, actually, not a bad trade. Really impressed with that. That Colossus, yeah, he has 13 kills, but those are all mostly Lings instead of the Hydras, which are really the high-value targets. So we see Vaccinate is adding on the Roaches now that he sees his Tigers. He's going into 2-2. Would really like to see a 4th or 5th out of him. 4th and 5th, honestly, out of him. Hive. Yeah, so he's doing all he needs to do. I just feel like he needs the econ boost of those additional bases.
Yeah, absolutely. So
'cause he kinda,
we have to question whether this is intended at this point, because he should have thrown down a 4th, because he knows Polar is going to reset.
I really doubt it is. I think he's just
Do you think
trying.
it's
Maybe he doesn't feel
nerves?
safe.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be nerves, could be not feeling safe. Obviously, like he doesn't know everything that we see. That is, Polar's basically was set back good 2 or 3 minutes from that push. He's rebuilding his army. He's rebuilding his third. Um,
Yeah.
Adding on Void Rays, interestingly enough. So really going for that super classic kind of Protoss death ball of Void Ray Colossus that we see. Adding on the Templar. So luckily for Vaccinate, he's going to have a good, 30-second window where he has Vipers,
Yeah.
and there's
And
no
Phoenix
Templar.
harass has stopped. Polar
Yeah.
electing not to continue to harass with the Phoenixes at this point. Fourth is going down. Income at this point favoring our Zerg player. I think upgrades also favoring
Yeah,
the Zerg.
he's honest. Okay, this goes to 3 Vipers. He's going to have a very strong 2-2 timing attack. Where Polar is just on the 1-1 without Storm, without really that huge number of Colossus that he wants. And another thing to point out that I didn't really mention in that fight is he picked off the sentries. Look at the sentry count; it's 2 sentries. So obviously sentries really aren't as helpful as like the Colossus, the Void Ray, or the High Templar. But they really add so much to your army, even at the later stage of the game, zoning out those units, letting you get your great storm positioning, letting the Colossus rain down their fiery death on the Hydras. And he just lost so many of them that he only has 2. That's really worrying. So we're going to see Vaccinate about to max out with this 2-2. He let the 2-2... so he has 2-2. Really would like to see him hit a timing with these full energy Vipers. 3 full energy Vipers.
Yeah, this
Let's
is
check
the
out the
exact
energy.
nature of Ro32. He needs to be hitting this timing.
Yeah.
Polar realizing that he's been without vision for too long, elects to move out. But Vaccinate here is going to attack at these rocks.
For the back.
Do you think that's the correct choice here?
Yeah, it's a tough call. I would honestly go for
Polar's
the
still not
neutral.
responding. Okay, he's moving. Oh, I don't think this is a response. Yep, he's
he's
recalling.
recalling the terrain. Yeah, Vaccinate
knows.
definitely back out. Go for the third.
He's going for it.
there goes
abducts.
Ducks.
Yeah.
Decent
Is he target
abducts.
fire?
Not
Target fire
great target
follow-up.
firing. But see, look, these army is able to get right up on the Protoss army.
Storm
Okay, there
going
goes
down.
the storms. So yeah, just
Zerg
good
army gets
idea.
shredded.
Yeah, that's GG. Not to be too anticlimactic.
We don't call
but-
GGs. We don't call GGs. We just
okay.
say that somebody is
It was,
favored.
Yeah, it was quite game-ending damage.
Did you
from
not? Did you not read your TB Ham standard issue caster manual, sir?
Yeah, I
We're
I'm
gonna
not
retest
one
you
to-
on your
to favor
competency
casters,
examination.
Casters pretending that there's still life. That was pretty much as close to death blow as you get. That was really his one window. He had the 2-2 lining up, so he had the upgrade advantage. He had the tech advantage.
He just
he
needed
had
to
everything.
be cautious and pick that fight
Yeah.
better.
And he got the
That's
the
so
saddest thing
nervous.
is he got the abducts off. So obviously the High Templar didn't do their job. So he got the abducts off, but the Colossus were just in great position. Oh, this was really weird recall. He's leaving all his Templar here. Oh, that was definitely an error by Polar.
Oh, definitely.
Let's see if Vaccine can. Looks like Vaccine not going to be able to capitalize on that.
No.
But he accidentally left 5
And
High Templar.
I guess he was expecting aggression, counter-aggression.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. Got spooked. Recalled. I think nerves are a little bit at play here for both of our players.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we can see that Vaccine just sitting on this Roach Corruptor. This is just going to get absolutely steamrolled by the higher tech units.
Polar's really out of position here.
Yeah,
oh my
he's-
god, he needs to
Colossus.
move. He needs to pick off these Colossus. They're really out of position here. Oh, that would be huge. He needs to target fire them.
Yeah, gets one. Does
He
get
needs
one.
to get the second one with the
Yeah,
corruptors
really
and fall
not
back.
using the terrain to his advantage here.
That was
Oh,
a
the High Templar! Look, the High
monumental
Templar just
misplay.
all got sniped, or one got sniped, and 2 other forced them over into an Archon. So pretty uncharacteristically sloppy play out of Polar. But look, it's not even gonna matter. His army of higher tech units just steamrolling through these roaches. Like a roach army, obviously good early game to hold off any sort of gateway aggression, but just not what you want when you're facing an army of Archon, Void Ray, Immortal Colossus. Pulling the drones.
This is I mean the double Zerg caster duo not enjoying what they're seeing.
Yeah, really just unfortunate. I feel like Vaccinate, he played very well. Sniping the third, good opening.
I think
But then,
that might just be his style to take these risks. I think the third was a risk, and I think that the
yeah,
main was even more of a risk. I think
yeah,
maybe not taking that engage, falling back, having taken the recall, repositioning, and then catching Puller's army kind of here outside the natural, because it would have had to run through that to defend the third that he knew would have been under siege. And he could
yeah.
have got
It's
a
just
great
enough.
concave there. I think decision making under nerves is something that these players are gonna have to definitely work on, and that's
Yeah,
easy for me to say sitting here with my Chobo Team League coffee mug
and
and
you're all
scrolling
sick.
around. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but yeah. So Vaccinate did hold on there. Obviously, substantially down in supply, substantially down in income. But he is alive, which
he
is
could be
definitely
way worse on income,
yeah. You
frankly.
definitely want to be alive in
Oh
Star
yeah,
Wars.
he's
That's
the
it's a
income is
major
not
advantage.
that bad for him,
Yeah,
given where he is.
is retaking or well retaking his fourth. It's now his fifth base.
Yeah.
We do see War Prism drop. Oh, and he neglected to kill the rocks, so his army's gonna have to go so far around.
Polar with this
Uh,
Warp Prism harass
the
charge
damage of
lots.
these zones
Yeah.
is going to be
Polar deciding to be, he does opt to go for these high value targets, Infestation Pit
yeah.
and the Spawning Pool. Correct choice.
Losing the Infestation Pit and Spawning Pool, not too big a loss because he's obviously not going to go for Spawning Pool. Probably not going to go for Infestors. Well, actually, not
Big
too.
warp in on the bottom right to
Yeah.
defend this
Oh,
push.
here's a High Templar. If he can actually pick up this High
He's
Templar,
yeah, the High
no, not gonna
Templar
go with
are
it.
being supported by these late
Good
zealots.
storms, trapping them all.
Yeah, his
Here goes the
attention must have
zealots.
been elsewhere.
Unfortunate. We do see a little bit of a Mute transition,
Muta's picking off the warp prism. That's good
facing it away.
for him. Yeah.
Fortunately, Polar still has that Stargate. Interesting enough, a couple of zealots caught him in the main. A little bit of a funny scene there. But yeah, this Zealot harass is still going on, forcing the Mutas back. Muta's basically a desperate at this point.
Muta is the correct choice at this point.
Yeah.
It's the correct response,
You do
and
see
every
Polar
Protoss. Yeah,
5 Archons at one time.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a desperate situation for Vaccinate. Maybe if Polar, like falls asleep at the keyboard for a little while, allows him to kill all the tech, then gets in some sort of crazy base trade situation, we could see Vaccinate come back to take this game. But
Mutas are gonna do what mutas do. They're
Yeah.
gonna go into that base, but this heavy force of Protoss is gonna move to his one of his only mining bases, and I think that he's gonna be perfectly content with
Yeah.
the base trade.
base. So yeah, I would like to see Polar adding in cannons at his third. So it looks like he's going to choose to fight his third. Adding a bunch of cannons, got Templar there. Yeah, this is a really poor position for Vaccinate. Polar's just going to go around killing this army. And we do see he's actually able to make a decent amount of meters. He has 14 with 12 more on the way. So he's going up to 26 meters, which is a sizable number. Unfortunately, he's going against 7 Archons and 13 High Templar.
Yeah, Polar just going for
Yeah.
the base trade, poking a little bit with some units, stalling out the mutas,
Yeah.
and Vaccinate has to know that he can't win this
And
base trade.
the end is near, unfortunately, for our Zerg friend, Vaccinate. Yuta's doing quite well. Archon,
Work on this pop.
yeah. One thing worth noting is these mutas are +2. So this was not. It was a desperation transition, but it was not a totally unplanned one. He was
No.
getting upgrades.
No, because every Zerg in
Yeah, every
a
Zerg does. Oh, the
in a
overlords.
ZVP
Oh,
needs to be
so sad.
ready for that muta switch, and
I
the
think that's-
Protoss needs to be ready for it as
Yeah.
well.
Vaccinate is left with 2 overlords on the map, so this is his army he's gonna have. Looking like an army.
Some drones being sent across the map for positions, and I think this drone, yeah, he's starting hatcheries in lots of places, and I think that he knows his army is more mobile, and I think he's maybe going to plan on catching something out here.
I mean, unfortunately, look at this third base from Polar. 4 Archons, a Stalker, 3 cannons. Or
Oh,
4
these Archons are shredding
Yeah.
the mutas. He looked away. Not ideal here.
He's gonna be able to pick them off and pick off this gold, but just such a bad position for the Zerg player. Polar just with this Death Squad going around, sniping all the bases, Zealots, High Templar, Archons, and 2 Colossus. That money mix. Oh, not finishing off the gold, interestingly enough. Gonna run over here. No cannons at this key money base. A little bit of an oversight from Polar, but...
Definitely, but at this
Yeah,
point you have to question whether it even matters. Both players' production tabs are empty. They are going full-on Chobo late game.
yeah, Polar just kind of... Basically, Polar's like, okay, whatever. I'll give up every base on the map as long as this is. And the GG goes down from Vaccinate.
Alright.
So Polar will take game 1. Pretty decisive victory. Not to say that Vaccinate didn't have chances to win, but it looked like overall Polar is definitely in the driving seat, kind of driving tempo of that game. He used his Phoenixes quite well, forced out a bunch of spores, 6 spores, and even got damage done, killed a couple drones, a couple overlords, and queens.
Yeah.
So not really what you want to do is see as a Zerg player, especially if you produce so much into spores, put so much into spores. And then really good snipe on the 3rd, but he ended up losing a lot of Hydras and Lings, so it's hard to tell if that was worth it. I would say yes, but Vaccinate really failed to capitalize on that by not just fully going into econ mode, picking off, or putting down rather, a couple of bases of his own, and really just going into the macro game. He really put all his eggs into the basket of the 2-2 Ro32 push, under the main, and unfortunately his abducts just weren't on point. His abducts and targets just weren't on point working together.
The second he saw that warp in, he should have, in my opinion, he should have backpedaled, set up the concave outside the natural, and waited. Because you know he's going to have to respond to you putting pressure on the 3rd. And at that point, you're just in a good position. You got the concave, you got the abducts. Focus fire wasn't on point in the main, but... You know, what are you going to do? It was already a doomed endeavor, I think.
Yeah, it was, I like the idea. Execution, not quite there. So we're going to see if Vaccinate, going into this game 2, on his map pick, Coda will be his map pick. We're going to see if he can perhaps execute a little better. Doesn't really have to change his strategy around, but just maybe a little more of an econ focus, a little bit more on point with his abducts, a little bit more on point. Just the little things is really what went wrong for Vaccinate that game, and Polar doing just enough to stay alive with his really heavy High Templar focus. Huge amounts of High Templars and Archons use that game. It's a really great effect for Polar. So we're going to see if he sticks to that strategy, or if he chooses to mix it up. Maybe Gateway Aggression, maybe Mortal Aggression. We'll see. Coda is a good map for aggression, but we'll see. Definitely see what is to come for this ZVP game 2.
Yep. And both players are ready. Map is Coda, and we have everything in place. And let's head into that game then. So. Do you think Polar is going to go for Phoenix again?
I'm going to make kind of a couch call. I'm going to say one of 2 things. He's going to go for Phoenixes, or he's going to go for Gateway Aggression off Phoenixes. So one of those 2 things is definitely my prediction. We'll see. We'll see what comes out of Polar.
Definitely. All right, spawning in the bottom right, having fixed the lighting for myself. It is Team Unrivaled's very own Polar, coming off the back of a victory there. Gonna update the score. Be a good guy.
And then in the 11 o'clock position, also from Team Unrivaled, we have the Red Zerg player Vaccinate. So just kind of going back to that color conversation. Both players electing for the really classic blue and red color. Zerg, I think default Zerg is red, and blue Protoss, again, solid choice. You know, at least blue probes look pretty good, look a little futuristic. Blue's a nice color, nice futuristic color. So yeah, I can't really fault their choices. Would have liked to see maybe a little bit more innovation out of them, rather than going for kind of the standard. But you know, it's whatever really, player preference and all that. So we're gonna see if they're strategy choices are as vanilla as their color choices in
Yep.
this game.
I actually really like blue Protoss. I think it's
Yeah,
very
I,
crisp.
I do. I think it looks good.
I think it's crisp.
Blue or teal Protoss.
Yeah, I think it's quite crisp. Um, but we do have to reference, and we did kind of reference Polar being aggressive with this probe,
Yeah.
being a typical dick Protoss, gonna try and deny this natural as long as he can. This is an all UR power hour cast player combo situation, so let's all form up, do the UR circle jerk, and then move on with casting. All right, lovely. Um,
Yeah. So one thing to note in this group, we have obviously your Guns N' Roaches and All In. So All In and your both teams made it to the semis of the CTL, which is kind of, I guess, the father league of the CSL. It's a team league style format. So two high-performing teams, Guns N' Roaches, I believe, did not make the playoffs. I may be wrong about this. I think it was
they
a
did
little bit of a
not.
weaker. Yeah, it was a little
They
bit of a
did
weaker
not.
season from them.
They in splendid fashion, they did not, involving a captain vote, etc., etc.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was quite intense. Was that the game versus or the series versus All Inspiration that I'm
Yes,
thinking of? Yeah.
yes. You don't
So
remember that incredibly long-winded Sinistar wall of text?
I do not. There were several this season, but so yeah, it's I guess my eventual point is that these were two relatively high performing teams in the Turbo Team League. So you can definitely see individual performance kind of correlates with team league performance, which I
Absolutely,
guess is quite a little
absolutely.
bit obvious, but I felt like pointing it out.
Well, I don't know. Some teams have weaker places than others. I think that Bear Sloths actually surprises me consistently with some of their players. I think they have
Mhm.
some really solid players. Don't they have BCX? I think that's a good
Yeah,
player.
yeah,
I don't think that I care for him personally, but I've heard he's okay. Oh, the wall off not tight. I wonder if the Zerg
yeah.
player is gonna notice that. Polar moving the probe, being like, ooh, I don't know about that.
Yeah. So again, the Forge opening. I'm trying to figure. I feel like I don't. I feel like a gateway opening just allows the protest player just so much more flexibility, um, and like aggression opportunities. But I think Polar definitely feels more comfortable with the Forge opening. So it's really like a matter of if you're used to playing this style, you should play it because even if it's not necessarily as strong as another style, if you're more comfortable with it, you're gonna execute it better. And we see, yeah, okay. So my prediction ended up being right that Polar is gonna go Forge Fast Expand into the Stargate again. I bet you that he's gonna go Phoenixes, and we're gonna see a game. We're going to see strategy out of Polar that was quite similar to the last game. So it's up to Vaccinate really to react a little bit better than he did last game.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Kind of a similar opener to last game from the Zerg player,
Yeah.
saturating at this point, getting gas, starting a Roach Warren. So I think positioning safely. I don't think the Roach Warren is aggressive, but he does have the Evo chamber with it. But the third is starting. I don't know, Quali. You're better at Zerg than I am. How do you read this? Because if I see speed, Roach Warren at halfway, and Evo chamber, that reads timing attack to me. But the third is
Um,
up, and it's
yeah, I think it's
early.
honestly just. I think he was playing a little defensively, getting that earlier roach one. Just really quite standard Zerg play. Really would like to see him have scouted a little bit better, a little bit earlier, seen the Phoenixes, skipped the Roach Warren, knowing that no gateway aggression is coming, and really committed to just droning up and then doing a huge like Nidus with Hydras and range, or just speed Hydras and Ling massive attack when Polar just take the third. I really feel like that's a much stronger way to play against air toss Phoenix opening than just kind of beating your head against the wall with roaches. But Vaccinate has chosen to go with kind of that standard roach based style, so we're going to see if he can make that work. It's certainly doable. Polar will be weak on the ground, so it's up to Vaccinate really to capitalize on that. So Phoenix is picking off that Overlord. So Vaccinate knows what's on the way. Is producing roaches, so you might have been onto something with this aggressive play. Yeah, it's looking like.
Yeah, it
Is he gonna be
it looks
aggressive
like.
with this?
I
Yeah,
mean, honestly, that read to me as setting the infrastructure in place for aggression. I think he intends to strike Polar before Polar can do this economic damage. Because what's he gonna do? Defend with the phoenixes? That's not
yeah, yeah.
optimal.
This is definitely a reasonable play to play this. Oh, a little sloppy these Overload rallies gonna be able to pick off. Oh, and again picking off the Queen.
Zealots have been warped in from this proxy
Yeah,
pylon onto the third, and our Zerg player here being strained in multiple places, taking aggression at the third, needs to answer
yeah.
that, but he
Oh, and
does
here at
strike.
the natural, we have a huge
He
Roach
needs to move
force.
in. Polar
Oh,
warping in
and just oh,
defensively,
the sniping the sentry right away.
sniping the
Really good
sentry right
play.
away.
Where
Exactly.
is the mothership core? What is it doing? It's
Phoenixes
just kind
are
of
being
chilling at the
pulled
third.
back, so Zerg
Void
player
started. Oh, and the
is.
Ling's running
Mm-hmm.
by.
Yeah,
Okay, Photon Overcharge goes down. Gonna see. Oh, not enough energy for double Photon Overcharge. Huh. Polar just really caught playing super greedy, trying to go right up to Colossus after going for that Phoenix opening.
I don't like the Zerg player's forces right now. He should have ran into main, I think, taken out that mineral line and let this overcharge run out. But he is gonna try and
Yeah.
take out this Nexus for his troubles. Does
Oh,
try
and
and
not
snipe
getting it. The
this.
Immortal does get out.
Mm-hmm. The mortal
Yeah,
does
he's
get out.
desperately trying to snipe the natural.
This is
I
gonna
really
get
feel.
repelled. It had game-ending implications, but I think that in letting the Protoss player survive, letting this Nexus survive, not taking a full mineral line's worth of probes, he committed
Yeah.
way more
And
to
at the same
this.
time, he lost his third to these two
Exactly.
zealots. Look at the kills in these
Exactly.
zealots. Oh, that's just the most frustrating feeling ever is letting a Nexus live with sub 100 hit points. You just feel the entire. It's almost worse. It's almost better for you as the Protoss player to have that stay alive. Just because the Zerg player, look, he's committing everything. He's like, okay, it's so
Streaming
low, I
links.
have to kill this. And it just is so hard. You'd almost rather just do no damage as a Zerg player and be like, okay, there's no way to kill it. But this way, you feel like you have to try.
Oh,
Oh, and a
he
Zealot.
needs to
Oh,
get
yeah,
those. He
again.
needs to get those lings on this Nexus or somewhere.
Oh, wait, why is he choosing?
He's
Interesting choice to run by.
decision making again. Coming into question here.
Sniping a couple drones. Oh, these roaches not really doing anything, looking like they're going to target the cannon. Not really the greatest choice when you have the Void Ray.
I don't think so
The
either.
Photon Overcharge goes down the main. Oh, I feel like
Income
he's
right
just
now.
splitting his forces so much that it just hurts. It hurts really these DPS opportunities. He's kind of doing a little damage to a lot of things instead of a lot of damage to little things,
Exactly
which
correct.
in a game like this, it's as close. Look at the supply. It's a very close game. He killed 18 workers while good. That could have been 18 workers plus a Nexus or
Yeah,
30 workers at the same cost. It's
exactly.
just ugh.
Yeah, you just
Like
have to
again,
again question his
yeah.
comfort in a series of this caliber.
Like it's the right ideas. Like obviously seeing those four phoenixes, knowing that he was trying to take a third, knowing the mothership core was out of
Mm-hmm.
position, and just going. That's like
Yeah.
obviously a strategic decision. That's the right decision, the right call, and a great
Polar
call.
scouting roaches moving across the map
And
has
this time,
sentries in
yeah, this time
place.
he's prepared. He got sentries, got two colossus, got the void ray. This
Yeah,
should do absolutely nothing.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
Force field's a little late to come out. Maybe he wanted to bait some of the roach force and split it off. I honestly can't comment on that.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Zerg player is
He's going
saturating
this
his
spot,
third.
taking us finally saturating the third. Ah, this is it's such a hard game to watch as Zerg because Vaccinate was so close so many times. So close to saving his third, so close to killing his opponent's natural, so close to devouring his opponent's mineral line. And it just, nothing is really going his way. And we see Polar, again, just really sloppy. Okay, there we go, finally fixing his rally. But before, really sloppy rallies. So he's going to move across this map with this tech heavy force,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be very difficult for Vaccinate to stop it because Vaccinate, he's trying to catch up, he's droning. Again, this is Zealot These are just being so annoying. Look at this pylon there. Just as annoying as can be.
The Zealot might have been more nefarious than we think. It might have drawn out a splitting of the
Yeah,
Zerg units
yeah.
while he plans to attack this third.
It's so rough. Look, he's just gonna pick up his third. Really,
No
no
response.
chance of holding this.
Yeah,
The left
Vaccinate
meters on the way.
leaves the proxy pylon.
Oh,
Does
and
come
again,
back.
look, the Zealot warp in. So now, Polar's just kind of pulling into all sides. Zealot's gonna run in after he sees these drones rally, and then he's gonna have to kill this army. So Vaxnate is just really being pulled all around the map.
Yep.
Uh, and these
Muta
mutas, I don't
switch
know.
is coming, but
I don't know how he's gonna be able to kill these three phoenixes and all the stalkers. Muta's kind of trickling out. Really hard to deal with. Roach's going after the Zealots. Muta's going after the Phoenixes. It's not going to be enough.
it's not
Honestly,
gonna be enough.
Polar
I
just has survived the Zerg onslaught this game.
I
Um,
I think that this I think Vaccinate had a very strong position because he did catch Puller in the most awkward point of this build.
yeah,
After the Phoenixes are out, and Puller just held it. So I think a good game to both of the players.
yeah,
However, just I honestly I think that if he'd target fired a little better during that aggression, had an eye on a prize, like had a prize, like I am
yeah,
here
exactly.
and I'm attacking you with this timing for a specific. Let me hide that doorway with my hands. Attack this that dog. Attack with a very specific thing in mind. Like I'm gonna get this probe line. I'm gonna get this nexus. Like because they split up. He started attacking a pylon. He started attacking probes. Like they were just everywhere. And at that point, you just lost all of your DPS. And
Yeah, I think it was just Polar executed better. That's really what it comes down to.
mhm.
Just not really the crisp execution that you need. Obviously, like these are reasonably high level games, and you just can't be that sloppy, splitting your damage and so forth. You just have to like have a specific target in mind, go for that target, kill that target, and then move on. I think we saw Vaccinate kind of in his
And
mind
cut
going
your
after too many
and
things.
maybe the most important, cut your losses.
Yeah,
Pull back. It's okay. You did damage. You forced out units. Pull back. Don't just
yeah,
leave stuff there to die attacking nothing. I mean, yeah, I might have gotten chased down, etc. But I think some lings could have survived or something. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
we're gonna touch base with our next two